We have garnered some knowledge about Lean Six Sigma during our training or from a textbook. However, the bigger question is, how can we apply the Lean Six Sigma knowledge into practice? Good morning, everyone. My name is Li Mei. I am from the Lean Six Sigma Academy. Today, I'm very honored to have Mr. Edwin Kippers with us. Hi, Edwin. Good morning.
Good morning, Li Mei.
Good morning. Welcome. Edwin is the business improvement consultant of Symbol BV. At the same time, he's also the coach and head of Academy of Dutch Handball Federation. Being an experienced Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, Edwin has helped many clients in terms of business process improvement. So today, Edwin and I were just gonna have a conversation about how he has applied the Lean Six Sigma knowledge into practice. So Edwin, I have a few questions for you.
That's okay.
Could you please tell us, how did you first get involved with the Lean Six Sigma? Was it by design or by accident?
It's actually a little bit of both, because what happened when I was working about 25 years ago in consultancy, we always talked about operational excellence, and without really knowing what operational excellence was, it was more like, okay, we want to improve processes and get better results for our customers as such. And what happened in that time, we were starting to talk about lean. So that was the first. So Toyota came across with a lot of information on the Toyota production system. And at the same time, it also started a little bit going off with Six Sigma. So in those days, it was still Lean or Six Sigma, where later on it was more like a combined approach. So yeah, basically I came across it just by accident, but eventually we designed, let's say, the whole training and how the education, so how we could use the tools and apply the techniques. That was more or less a real design. So it was we developed ourselves. So I became first of all black belt, and later on master black belt, and this is how it actually started.
Okay, so when you were a consultant, you also combined the Lean and the Six Sigma together. So not only Lean or Six Sigma, but the combination. Okay. Yeah. From as you just mentioned, you have designed the training. And I think that's the way how you became an expert in the field. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And if I may ask, how long have you been working as a Lean Six Sigma or business improvement consultant? How many years already?
I've been in this business for more than 25 years now. And
wow.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's but a lot, and I think I really like it, because you see a lot of different type of businesses, different type of clients, opportunities, and also had a different project. So that makes a lot of fun, because what I think from working in improvement, process improvement, business improvement, it's every day is different. So that makes my life very challenging, and I think there's still a lot of opportunities to go. So that makes also sure that in the future we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I'm just curious, for what kind of clients did you help? Many clients from the manufacturing or from the public service sector?
Yeah, initially it was a lot in the manufacturing area. For example, I did a big job with Shell in the UK oil and gas sector. Yeah, that was where we really started with some lean stuff, getting also some data-driven approach, trying to apply some of the Six Sigma tools. But later it became more also in the service area. So I did a lot of things with governments, also with municipals, and also even with hospitals. So there's a lot of different approaches. Sorry, not different approach, same approach to different type of businesses.
Okay. And, yeah, if I may ask, because you have helped clients from different kind of sectors, like Shell, really big manufacturing company, and also like hospital, those kind of institution. So my question is, if you want to compare those two kind of branches, what is the most significant difference, you can say?
To be fairly honest, there is no difference, because we all work with customers, we all work with the process,
Yeah.
We also like to deliver our service or our product as good as possible to our customers.
Okay.
Of course, it's different when you're in a hospital and you have to do a surgery, surgery on someone, which is a different kind of service than when you go to, let's say, to a company like Shell where they deliver oil and gas. Of course, that's completely different. But for me, it's quite important, and that's what's also quite important for me as a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, is that you start to think in a process. And if you have a process, there's always an input, there's always an output, and that's not different for what type of business you are talking about.
Yeah, to sum up a little bit, I think that is also the message we are trying to send out from our academy, is that this methodology of Lean Six Sigma is not only limited to manufacturing companies, but also for public service sector. I think that's, again, from what we heard from Edwin, he just confirmed that is indeed the case. You just mentioned the big project you did in Shell. Yeah. Was that one really special for you? Was that the most significant project you have done?
No, it's one of the it was one of the first projects I did applying the Lean Six Sigma tools and techniques. One of the other clients that I worked with was a company that made catalysts for the chemical industry. Okay. And what we basically did is that we streamlined their whole supply chain by applying Lean Six Sigma methodology.
Oh, wow.
And that was very interesting because we were able to help them further increase their profits and further expand their business by just simply looking at how effective is the current way of working and what should we do differently. And by, again, applying processes, tools and techniques and things like that in order to identify, okay, where is the real button we have to turn on to make sure we do the things we are looking for.
Okay, I'm just, if I may ask, I just want to know, for instance, for such a big project, what kind of hard benefits are you talking about?
You talk about a couple of millions.
Euros.
Euros, okay. Yeah.
In addition to that, we still have soft benefits, people working more efficiently, for instance.
I think the soft ones are sometimes even bigger than the hard benefits, but it's very difficult, of course, to quantify. But if you talk about most companies talk about motivation, and I find that very difficult to quantify that. But it's definitely also worthwhile the involvement of people that you get when you start to look at the processes in line with the Lean Six Sigma methodology. It's also it's undescribable. It's almost impossible to quantify, but it gives you an additional boost to the organization.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Like Lean Six Sigma is not only about the hard side, like those tools and skills, but also the soft side. It's about people. After all, people have to do the job. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you have explained to us many things you have done. If I may ask, what are the most important lessons you have learned from those projects? Can you share that with us, please?
Yeah, of course. For me, there's a couple of things that are quite important. First of all, is to make sure you get a proper, if we do it in the DMA IEC, your define phase is really important. Make sure you get a clear definition of what you are going to do, and what are you going to deliver, and also in what time frame you are going to deliver it.
Okay, clear definition of the problem. We have first identified the problem, then we can find a solution, and also the time frame. Okay, further, anything else?
Yeah, and I think key to it is also that you have a proper team, that you make sure you get people involved that are in the day-to-day business. They understand what is going on, they understand the methodology, and they can help you with that.
Okay.
And those are also really important when you have to think at the other side, is when you have finished the project, and when you have to make sure that the things that you've been changing or improving, that those are getting sustainable in the organization. Because the people that are on your project are key for getting the sustainability.
Yes, I understand. Just to summarize a little bit what Edwin has just told us, the most important lessons that he has learned is, for instance, a clear definition of the problem, because we can only define the problem and then find a solution. And second of all is the time frame of a project. A third, also he has emphasized is very, very important is the people, because after all, people have to do the job. And also the fourth thing is like sustainability. Maybe you have improved the project for now, but we hope to see the improvement still, I don't know, in 5 years or 10 years time frame.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for so far. And now we're going to enter your another role, which we have mentioned. You're the coach and also the head of the academy of the Dutch Handball Federation. When and why did you decide to become a handball coach?
Actually, it was not on purpose. It was like I always played handball myself, and at a certain moment in time, the team I was playing for it didn't have a trainer, and then someone said, "Hey, maybe it's a good opportunity for you." And I had to think about it initially, and I thought, okay, is this something for me? Because I always said, okay, I don't want to become the trainer. I just want to be a player. But I started doing it, and while I did it, I got a lot of fun, a lot of excitement about it, and the more I did it, and the longer I did it, the more I also had the feeling that I was quite good at it. So and that had definitely helped me to say, okay, hey, let's see if there are more opportunities just then doing my local team. And so I was also asked by the federation to become a national trainer, a national team trainer. And that of course helps you to say, okay, hey, now maybe it's time to make some other choices as well.
Okay, so the level you're now coaching is really the national team. So yes. I'm not really good at handball, I'm sorry. It's more like the highest level in Holland, I think, right?
It's the highest level in Holland, and also we play at the European level. So it's like you work with the best in Europe. So that's very interesting. Yeah.
And you were a player yourself when you were younger, and now you're the coach. What is the difference? How you feel in your role and being a player and being a coach? Do you see the difference actually?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference. I think as a coach, it's really important to make sure your players are getting the best out of themselves, which is completely different than when you're a player, because then you say, okay, I'm just taking care of myself and nobody else. So now you have to take care of 16 players instead of just one, and that means you have to develop them, you have to motivate them, also you have to guide them as well, and you have to make sure that they're able to, because handball is a game, it's really about decision making, that they are basically able to make the right decisions on the court.
Okay, because as we know your experience in Lean Six Sigma, now you're the coach. Is there some kind of connection between these two roles of you?
There is, because what I always like is the combination, because we can learn from if you look at a sports team, how to develop a team is really something that's been done greatly and very well in the sports area, and that's something where you can learn a lot from when you're in day-to-day business, because we work also a lot in teams. But we don't pay attention enough, I would say, to develop people as such way that they can excel. But the other way around is also that we have sometimes some very nice and interesting methodologies in order to, for example, develop your strategy. Recently I did a Hoshin planning session with a customer, and but this is also typically.
Sorry, Kazin, for the ones who doesn't know Hoshin, can I explain shortly what a Hoshin is?
It's Hoshin is actually Hoshin is the Japanese word for compass, and it's helping you to give direction to whatever you want to do. But it's a very interesting approach where you start from vision all the way down to actions on the day-to-day business. So it's helping you to develop your strategy. And that's a very interesting one. This is something that's been done on a daily basis, almost not on a daily basis, but on a regular basis in normal business. But in sports, it's like, okay, hey, we always think about vision, but we are find it sometimes very difficult to translate a vision into actions.
Yes, so I know that.
And in that way, I also combine the two again, because I can learn from what is happening on the other side. And the other way around, of course. So it's that makes it very interesting.
And you have mentioned the Hoshin. Are there any other Lean Six Sigma principles that you also use? Like, I don't know, brainstorm? Do you use that?
Brainstorm, of course. But for me, one of the key things is data. If you look at
Okay. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
If you look at the current, and I think it's valid for a lot of sports. Sports is currently, a lot of it is data driven. And if you look at our trainings, we collect a lot of information about the players, heart rates, speed, distance, all kind of things that that are measured during the training and during the game. And what we do, so we have a lot of information, or we have a lot of data, but not all data is always information. So we have to translate that into information. That means we can apply a lot of statistics. And we are currently, one of the things we are doing is that handball is a very physical game. So there's a lot of injuries. So we actually started a kind of Lean Six Sigma project on how to reduce the number of injuries. So we basically applying the same methodology, DMAIC, collecting data, defining the problem, collecting data, and analyzing the data, and in order to basically improve the process.
Wow, that sounds very interesting, to be honest. I even didn't know that you could apply those techniques also in sport.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying.
And this is only a small part, because if you look at it, as I said, a lot of it is data driven nowadays. That means you also need statistics in that. So we, for example, we monitor our players day to day. And we're also looking at, and we do a data analysis to see, okay, are we having a positive trend? Are we having a negative trend? And statistics is almost key of our day-to-day business as well.
And are you doing all this analysis yourself?
Oh, no. Luckily, I have some people that are very good at it. But I also have the luck that with my background, I can also help them and say, okay, maybe it's good to look at this, or maybe we should do it like that. So I can help them to guide them in the right direction. So that's also good, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's just part of your role as a coach, I think. You just tell them which direction to go. Well, my last question is like, do you have any tips for young professionals who may be interested in becoming a business improvement, I don't know, consultant? Do you have any tips for them?
First of all, I would recommend to every young professional to become a business improvement manager, consultant, whatever you want to call it. Because I think by doing it, you get the opportunity to see so many different businesses and so many different processes. And that will help you to develop as an individual, but also help you to develop for your future career, I would say. Because to me, it's very important that you just are not linked to one, let's say, type of process, that you are able to look at every type of business, not in a general way, but you have the kind of approach in your mind that you say, hey, I'm going to use this and I'm going to do it in order to improve the business as such. And the other thing, the other thing is that by background, I'm a chemical engineer, a process engineer. And what I've always learned from day one when I started studying is that you have to think in processes. So if that's a skill that you cannot apply yet, make sure you get that skill as fast as possible. Because by mapping and by being able to think in processes, you can also identify, I won't say very easily, but you are able to identify sometimes in a very fast way where is the bottleneck in this organization.
So just to summarize a little bit, a Lean Six Sigma is more like a mindset. Is that correct? It's more like a mindset, the way how you look at the problems, the way how you look at a chance for improvement in your business. It doesn't matter which kind of business you're in, manufacturing or public service sector. If you, like young professionals, if you have this mindset, you will be able to identify the bottleneck or cause or root cause. Then you can bring some kind of solution for improvement.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for sharing so many interesting stories, also in your role as a business improvement consultant, but also as the coach of the Dutch handball team. Thank you so much for your time. And
you're welcome.
Thank you. And for the ones who want to know more about Lean Six Sigma, want to know more how we can help you in your business improvement, please reach out to us via www.lsz.eu. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.